Today, I want to share 3 of our quickest and easiest recipes, perfect for lazy days or when you just don't have time. Each of these dishes have limited ingredients and take less than 15 minutes to make. So let's get started with a 2-ingredient favorite of mine.
滑蛋蝦仁
Cantonese scrambled eggs and shrimp.
滑蛋蝦咧，梗係個蝦啦，係咪？5個安士咁上下嘅蝦，就首先你搣咗啲蝦先啦。呢個 size 係31、35嘅，比較大啲嘅嗱。
In the US, shrimp are sold by the amount in a pound. So 31.35 means there are 31 to 35 shrimp in a pound, which is considered large. So bigger numbers would mean smaller shrimp if that's what you prefer.
What if you use frozen shrimp?
我嗰啲蝦咪非常夾凍咯，
Still great.
有啲冇殼嘅你可以買啲冇殼嘅亦得一樣啫嘛。
But if you do have shell-on shrimp like us, here's a quick lesson on how to peel them quickly.
呢度第三節嗰度一搣就連埋搣蝦尾啊，呢度個背脊嗰度。 一咬佢咪攞出嚇，
咁快喎！
因為咁咪得啦，係嘛？好容易啫嘛。就係炒蛋啦，就太大隻啦，係嘛？所以咧，我哋係要片開佢，片咗佢一開二，整開佢喺中間嗰度，嗱，睇到嘛？
If your shrimp is too large like ours, we'll turn our knife horizontally to halve them.
Does Daddy like to have a particular size shrimp for this dish?
炒咧就唔需要好大隻蝦嘅，今日嗰啲蝦咪太大隻咯，太大隻嘛，所以我就咪要片開佢兩個咯。即係細隻嗰啲咧就唔使片啦，成隻得啦。如果你係想細隻啲嘅，買嗰啲一磅蝦40、50嗰隻。
For this recipe, you can use any kind of shrimp or prawn, but as with many types of seafood, especially popular ones like shrimp, finding ones that are sustainably farmed or caught is often a confusing and complex undertaking. As consumers, one way to do our part is by voting with our wallets. Monterey Bay Aquarium in California runs a free website called Seafood Watch, which has a ton of recommendations on how to choose and purchase seafood in ways that have the least environmental impact.
蝦咧就片開咗啦，嗱，我哋而家咧俾啲水洗佢，順便咧啲蝦腸洗埋佢出嚟。
You don't have to devein your shrimp, but if you prefer to, you can do it while washing them like my dad does here. Or you can also buy already peeled and deveined shrimp.
咁洗乾淨晒啦，係嘛 ？OK， 倒啲水出嚟，攣乾水佢，
一定要點啊！
攣下佢咪乾水咯，容易乾水得，仲要俾塊嗰啲廚房紙索乾下個水佢，一定要乾身嗱。乾佢先炒起上嚟，佢冇咁多水分出嚟啊嘛。只咁索佢。
Now we'll use some paper towels to dry the shrimp.
嗱，啲手上佢飲乾佢。
We'll roll it up in the paper towels and compress it so that all the moisture can be absorbed.
咁乾咗飲乾之後咧，擺喺度，好乾身係嘛？然之後咧就俾少少鹽上去，大概係半個茶匙咧，等佢有啲味嚇。咁撈咗嚟咧，俾少少胡椒粉，劈嗰啲腥味，少少夠啦，半個茶匙。 再俾少少生粉上去，撈佢，炒上嚟嘅蝦就又爽滑。
We'll add a teaspoon of cornstarch here.
你係咪特登係加一個咁撈，加一個咁撈？
咩啊？係啊。
點解啊？
呢啲生粉擺收尾，將啲鹽同埋啲胡椒粉落咗之後咧，生粉再擺收尾，咁冚住晒佢，咁佢咪乾身。咁炒起上嚟咧，啱啱佢啲蝦就好爽滑彈牙。
How do you cook the shrimp and not release too much liquid before the eggs?
攣乾水之後咧，俾呢啲紙作乾水佢，同埋咧我咪頭先咪俾少少生粉撈咗，攞啲少少鹽，攞咗鹽之後咧，你咪啲蝦會出水啦嘛，但係你再俾啲生粉撈翻佢，吸晒嗰啲水。
Now with our shrimp prepared, we'll wash our knife and switch out our cutting board for the next ingredient, the green onions.
切咗葱先啦，葱咧就唔使多嘅，少少夠啦。 炒蛋唔需要太多材料嘅嚇，咁蛋先嚇，5隻蛋，嗰啲油撈埋啲發蛋，咁炒起蛋嚟咧就會滑好多啦。俾一個茶匙咁上下啦，鹽咧用半個茶匙就好啦，唔好太鹹。俾少少糖上去，又係半個茶匙，咁樣咧發起啲蛋咧，佢就會鬆化好多嘅。
We have all of these ingredients listed on our blog at madewithlao.com, along with step-by-step instructions and video clips to guide you as you make the recipe at home.
材料安落整好晒，而家先發咗蛋先嚇，啲叉油隨你俾咩得啦，將個蛋發勻佢。
Lots of people had this question, including Nancy from Patreon. How do you make the eggs light and fluffy?
發個蛋嘅時候咧，加啲油落去，同埋加少少糖落去。
唔係因為要甜味啊。
No，要將啲蛋更鬆啲，同埋發蛋嘅時候咧，多啲發到見到起泡啦，唔好太早發咯，你臨到炒嗰時先發咯。嗱，好啦，而家咧就加埋嗰啲葱花落去先，加埋葱花上去，加勻佢。
With our 3 ingredients ready, my dad will show us how to stir fry it all together.
開到最大火，嗱燒到隻鑊見到轉色啦，底下有啲煙出嚟啦，即係話隻鑊已經燒到夠熱啦。夠熱咧，而家落油咯喎。
After about 1 minute with the heat on high, we'll add our oil.
一個湯匙咁上下嘅油啦，俾啲蝦上去，將啲蝦炒熟。
We'll stir fry the shrimp for about 30 seconds on high, stirring constantly until the color changes almost entirely to orange.
蝦快脆熟嘅呀。
Can you do this without shrimp?
你可以唔落蝦，炒滑蛋啫嘛。你要求啲蛋滑啫嘛，你咪用乜嘢都得㗎，蝦又得，雞又得，牛又得。就已經熟啦，閂火佢先。啲蝦你嚟，將佢擺過嚟啲蛋嗰度。
How do you get the right shrimp firmness?
你好似我頭先咁炒個蝦啦，係咪？啱啱8、9成熟嘅啫，未完全熟透嘅。俾多少少油落去炒，你做少少鹽要佢，少少生粉打溫佢。
And now we're ready to cook the egg along with everything else.
呢度底下仲有啲油喺度㗎，我哋再加多少少油上去，對得個茶匙咁上下油上去咧。因為炒蛋咧，邊個食油嘅？就開猛火。
A bunch of other creators have talked about scrambled eggs and differences in their consistency and how to make them. The major difference in Cantonese-style scrambled eggs is that we cook them over high heat. So let's see how my dad does it without overcooking or drying out the eggs.
鑊就燒紅啦，將啲蛋倒上去。
Immediately, the bottom of the egg will cook, but after about 10 seconds, we'll start to move it around.
我哋慢慢炒佢嗱。
We'll use our spatula to pick up the bottom cooked part of the egg and put it on top. As the uncooked egg fills up the bottom and quickly cooks, we'll repeat the process, stacking the layers on top.
嗱，一層一層咁炒上去嗱。
After 30 seconds, we'll turn the heat off.
好啦，要閂火就慢慢炒㗎啦。嗱，佢如果你咪就太猛火咧，啲蛋就老咗啦。嗱，
We'll continue the layering process with the residual heat of the wok until the eggs are cooked to your liking.
咁樣話啦，係嘛？哇！好啦，我哋就開翻火佢。慢火啊？係慢火，翻佢。
My dad still thought the eggs were too wet here, so he turned on the heat for 10 more seconds to cook them a bit more, but this is all up to your preference. The point is to have a variety of textures in the dish, from the chewier outside to the silky smooth and tender inside.
好啦，而家上碟啦。
食滑蛋。
炒蝦。
滑蛋蝦就炒好咗啦，希望大家中意。
Next, we'll be making Chinese broccoli with oyster sauce, a delicious veggie dish that is truly the easiest thing to make. Also known as gai lan in Cantonese, this is a super easy recipe that I ate almost every single week growing up. Even for a quote-unquote simple dinner, my dad would have at least 3 or 4 courses, and gai lan was always in the rotation as his go-to vegetable dish. He's cooked gai lan literally over 100,000 times over his 50 years as a chef.
朋友們，大家好，今日就係同大家介紹一個點樣整好靚嘅蠔油芥蘭河，好簡單嘅啫。我首先而家咧擺咗鑊落去，俾水俾油落去先嚇。
If you wanted to save time and have a water kettle, you can start boiling water. For a pound of gai lan, we'll need to bring about 6 to 7 cups of water to a boil. Set the stove to high heat and start heating the wok as well.
嗱，水咧多啲水都冇所謂，多啲水嘅話咧，啲菜咧就快脆啲熟，即係唔想啲菜喺個水上面浸咗太長時間。視乎你幾多菜，如果你多菜就再多啲水。我而家1磅咁嘅芥蘭，6杯7杯水咁上下啦，應該呢個啊，先放啲油上去，呢個係橄欖油嚟嘅，一個湯匙咁上下嘅油。 一個茶匙嘅鹽，我哋咧鹽同油俾落噶啦。嗱，所以啲芥蘭梗係要洗乾淨先啦，係嘛？咁先至擺落去噶嘛。嗱，如果你啲芥蘭如果係呢度係粗嘅咧，中間咁開佢， 等佢快脆啲熟。有啲粗嘅，有啲幼嘅，係咪？即係佢等佢容易啲熟，一齊熟就係咁簡單啦。嗱，我哋而家咧將啲菜擺落去，擺落去之後咧，冚住個蓋佢，等佢滾咗可以再俾多啲水上去，將佢浸過啲菜，一齊熟得快脆啲啦，係嘛？浸咗佢，校到最 high 嘅最猛嘅火，你冚住蓋佢，等佢滾咗之後咧，你中意係爽啲嘅2-3分鐘就可以拎起佢啦。如果你想要再腍啲嘅咧，你再煮多1-2分鐘佢，隨得你中意啦。呢個就係好容易嘅。
咁2-3分鐘係咪你等滾先？
滾咗先計，咁樣做咧，啲菜咧佢就流起上嚟嘅話咧，佢就好青綠色，好綠色嘅好脆嘅。咁你知咩？所以餐館人哋做嗰啲菜咁青色綠色嘅咧，佢就係乜嘢落油落鹽先，而且佢個鑊水好大鑊嘅，咁所以嗰啲菜就快脆啲熟咯。如果佢快脆啲熟，唔使啲熱水浸得耐，咁啲菜個營養就唔會分散出去啦。知道嘛？如果你浸得時間長咧，嗰啲葉綠素咪喺啲菜喺啲水嗰度去晒咯，明白嘛？所以俾多啲水佢，翻佢快啲熟。
如果你用凍水咧，咁係咪冇咁好啊？
連埋菜連埋凍水咁落啲菜就唔好啦。你煲熟煮熟啲菜嘅時候就變咗黃色噶啦，一定係要滾水先至落菜。如果係喺餐館咧，早已經熟咗啦，即係佢啲水好大鑊。開始滾啦，一陣抽滾水啦，差唔多開始滾啦。反住你滾佢，睇下嘛，啲菜已經綠色係咪？煮一陣間佢就會得噶啦。呢啲細條嘅就已經係熟噶啦。嗱，嗰啲大條嘅咧就要煮多一陣間啦，好快脆。而家咧啲菜就基本熟噶啦。你知道佢腍唔夠腍，搣一搣佢得噶啦。擠出嚟，好啦，咁就啱啱好啦。佢好爽，好爽甜。如果你話想佢再腍啲嘅咧，咁你就再煮佢2分鐘。好，我哋開始留起佢嚇。好啦，我哋呢個蠔油芥蘭就已經整熟咗啦。俾嚿剪下佢，剪呢佢2下或者3下。咁食起嚟咪好方便啲啦，係嘛？嗱，睇住剪佢，係嘛？咁咪好靚。通常餐館做咧，佢就將啲油再煮咗，再擺落去。我哋自己食屋企食嘅咧，就唔需要咁煮啦。橄欖油就咁淋啲橄欖油上去得㗎啦。係啊，俾佢一個湯匙佢上去，因為佢本身已經有啲油一齊煮㗎嘛，咁就唔使再需要好多油。蠔油咧，1個湯匙嘅蠔油，好啦，咁就基本得噶啦。再落多少少落去你中意鹹啲嘅咪落多啲咯，唔緊要啫好，咁就整好嘅呢個蠔油芥蘭啦。
If you have dietary restrictions, vegetarian mushroom oyster sauce is a great alternative to the standard oyster sauce, which is made with oyster extract. There's also a brand called Wok Mei that makes a gluten-free oyster sauce, but it still contains oyster extract.
Cheers!
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we eat this dish at least average 3 times a week.
Yeah.
You never get tired to eat this.
你喺中國有冇食芥蘭？
食有。中國個Chinese broccoli 啊嘛，中國芥蘭啊嘛，好多人中意食嘅。
Did you have it in your village or you have to buy it?
冇種嘅咧，種白菜多，種白菜容易啊嘛。各災有。
Before we move on to the next recipe, I also wanted to make a special shout out to thank all of our wonderful Patreon supporters for helping bring this video to life. If you enjoy our videos and are interested in supporting us directly, head on over to patreon.com/madewithlao to learn more. Now we'll be making egg flour soup, a heartwarming classic that's ready in just 10 to 15 minutes. The fa in Dan Fa Tong refers to the way the eggs beautifully blossom into fine wisps and strands as we slowly whisk the egg into the soup.
大家好啊！今日整一個好簡單嘅，好多人中意食個蛋花湯。蛋花湯其實好簡單嘅啫，又係蛋啲材料簡單，隨你搭
First, let's chop up our green onions and carrots. Cut the carrots into tiny cubes. Then, we'll add 6 cups of water into the pot and set the stove to high heat to start boiling the water.
先打蛋先，我哋用3隻蛋，或者你中意用4隻蛋亦都冇所謂。呢度係4至6個人嘅份嘅。如果你人少啲，可以整少啲咯，亦都冇乜所謂啫。我哋發蛋時咧有一個好竅門嘅，就係你再加一個湯匙嘅水落去，俾少少水落去打啲蛋會容易散啲，但係唔好俾太多。
To be thorough, beat the eggs for about 20 seconds.
好啦，蛋豆就擺喺度等用啦。
Once our pot is boiling, we'll add our carrots, corn, and peas into the pot. Then we'll start preparing our cornstarch slurry with 3 tablespoons of cornstarch and 5 tablespoons of water. Mix until there are no clumps of cornstarch.
大家睇到，而家咧就開始拗佢一個圈上去，埋個圈上去啦。一邊攪住佢，一邊咁落啲粉，唔好一下倒晒落去，慢慢放。
Keep pouring and stirring for about 30 seconds until the soup base starts to thicken.
圈就打好啦，我哋再嚟將啲蛋擺埋落去。落蛋嘅時候咧，亦都唔好一下倒晒落嘅喎，要慢慢咁倒落，一邊落一邊攪佢，咁攪住佢咧，唔好佢成嚿嚿啦，睇住，睇住，一邊落一邊攪住佢，嗱，睇下。慢慢落，慢慢攪。哇！啲蛋花幾靚，你睇，啲蛋花真係幾好靚。
Now, let's turn the heat off to preserve the softness of the eggs, and then we'll add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of chicken powder, as well as white pepper and sesame oil to taste. Mix the flavors into the soup.
基本上就大功告成啦。好啦，而家呢個湯就整好啦。嗱，大家睇下，啲蛋花好靚，嗱，倒佢落去嚇。睇咩？睇到啊？睇到蛋花好靚，係咪 ？OK， 咁啦，大功告成啦！呢個蛋花湯睇到嘛 ？OK， 大家啦可以食得噶啦。嗱，俾少少葱花上去，嗱，你可以俾，可以唔俾啊。好啦，就係咁簡單。
可唔可以擺雞啊？
得啫，爹哋都話你唔一定係要你中意乜就俾乜，但係蛋花就一定要蛋花。你可以落咩肉都得，可以落蝦又得。
細路仔用住。
我細個嗰時邊有蛋食嘅仔？
你有雞咯？
有雞都唔係好多蛋嘅啫嘛。呢度要3隻蛋，幾日先生3隻蛋啫。我就唔好似而家咁成日切好多蛋，一個月都唔食1-2次蛋。好啦，呢個蛋花湯就係咁簡單搞掂啦，可以食得啦。
When you was little, Jenna was little, we cook this a lot for them, like 3 or 4 times in a week.
Oh, wow.
Because we have a restaurant. In the restaurant, it's very easy to do it.
YouTube thinks you'll like this recipe next. Let's see if they're right.